railroads have played a key role in developing the Centennial State and its communities. With such a rich heritage to share, the Colorado Railroad Museum is excited to showcase a wide range of children's literature. As part of its in-person and online offerings in 2024, the museum will be presenting children's stories highlighting a broader-than-ever range of topics. These will include popular family favorites like Thomas the Tank Engine, as well as titles that spotlight Black Americans, Asian Americans, and Indigenous peoples, among others. Join with us each month, in person and online, for story time and craft as we read a children's story aloud, followed by a unique and easy-to-craft activity. These activities are designed for younger children and their parents or caregivers. All aboard!
Hello everyone, Scott here. Welcome back to Storytime. Today we're reading Train by Elisha Cooper. Let's get started. The train leaves in minutes. Passengers buy tickets and rush across the floor to where the train is humming on its tracks. Conductors look up the platform. They check their watches. 1 minute. Hats wave, whistles blow. All aboard? Not all. A passenger jumps on at the last second. The doors whoosh shut. The train pulls out of the station and out of the city. The train is a red-striped commuter train. The conductor swings down the aisle, shouts, "Tickets, please!" and snaps holes in the tickets with his punch. The train clatters past ball fields and bridges, past backyards and ponds. Main streets flash by. The view changes every second. Hello, town. Goodbye, town. On to the next town. The commuter train slows with creaking brakes. Announcements crackle. Some words get lost. We are arriving at Locomotive. The train stops at a small station. Passengers off, passengers on. As the commuter train waits, another train roars past on another track. A larger train. A bright blue passenger train hurrying between cities. The train is late, so up in the cab of the engine, the engineer pulls back the throttle. The passenger train powers forward. It hurtles past barns and farmhouses. The engine is so big it makes other big things look small. The engineer sits very still, but his fingers are always moving, pushing levers, turning dials. He taps a blue button, long, long, short, long, and the horn blares out. Across a valley of fields and steeples. As the train approaches a rail crossing, it sounds like a storm. As the train passes, it sounds like dropped pots and pans. As the train leaves, it sounds like the da-dum, da-dum of a beating heart. Then silence. But up ahead, the passenger train keeps going, thundering into the outskirts of a Midwestern city filled with smokestacks and factories and belching steam. Tracks weave in and out. Small animals scurry under the tracks. The passenger train crawls over the tracks through a jungle of gravel, wires, and dirt. Everything smells of grease and rust and burnt toast. The train lurches up to the station. Bells ring, doors open, passengers off, passengers on. Tall men with red caps unload luggage and wheel it through the echoing hall. In the rail yard next to the station, another train works. An orange freight train loading up. It grumbles under its breath as rail cars are hauled and hitched to its back. The rail cars are filled with steel, concrete, oil, wheat, corn, and lumber. Things used to make other things. Sturdy things, all crammed in containers the color of tomatoes and eggs. Thick white letters cover the rail cars. Graffiti paints their sides too. After the rail cars are linked into one long train, the freight train creeps out of the city and across the Great Plains. It rolls past wheat and prairie grasses. past silos and barbed wire, past a lone hawk circling under a big western sky. The freight train rolls slower than slow, so slow it's hard to tell it's moving, as if the train and clouds above were having a race to see which can go slower. Slow, slow, and like the clouds, the train does not stop, even as it inches up among low hills. Then another train passes, a dark green overnight train switchbacking westward. It climbs over the Rocky Mountains through snow flurries and pine forests. The train curves along icy rivers and shoots through tunnels where its chatter turns into a whisper. There are no roads outside, just eagles, elk, and turkeys. As the sun lowers, passengers gather in the dining car, where the waiter sways down the aisle with her tray. She doesn't spill a thing. Plates of meatloaf, potatoes, ice cream, and pie. A movable feast. In the sleeping car, two girls unfold seats into beds and make the room their own. Little sink, little shower. Everything little. The girls sleep as the train curls through the mountains and into the night. The moon rises. Wherever the train goes, the moon follows. When the train stops, the moon stops. When the train starts, the moon starts. Sometimes it hides behind a ridge, then, hello, friend, reappears. The train rests in small towns. Passengers off, passengers on. Stars blink in the cold air. Lights blink on the horizon, and the overnight train pushes into the deep hours of the night and wakes to morning sun. Passengers wake to biscuits, butter, jam, and coffee. Outside, everything is different. Mountains have turned into orchards, snow into grass, boulders into cattle. Now, accelerating into view across a wide green valley, one last train passes. A sleek and white high-speed train, blurring a streak across the land. Swoosh. Shh. The high-speed train flies. It glides over bridges and marshes, by bays and highways. Inside, it is cool and quiet. The train is a small world moving through a larger world. Passengers read or type. One whispers in her phone, "We're almost there. We'll see you soon." The high-speed train races toward the city on the coast, and the passengers prepare for the end of their journey. They close their books, they pack their bags, they think about what's next. A clean bed, a warm dinner. They are almost home. And with a slowing turn into the station, and an easing of speed, and a sigh of brakes, and a gentle last thunk, the train stops. The end. Thank you so much for joining us again. Now let's pop on over to Roni with an amazing craft.
Hi everyone, this is Roni, your craft master here, and our craft today is based on the book Trains by Elisha Cooper. Okay, let's see what you need for this craft. First, you're going to need a water bottle. You're going to need some glue, and I'm using both kinds of glue, regular glue and a glue stick. Sometimes this can work easier. We're going to need some scissors, marker. I was looking for something to sketch on, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. So something that you can scratch. And then we are going to use like a scratch paper. It's black, and then you can scratch something on it. So So we're going to use that, and I'll tell you in a minute what for. If you don't have scratch paper, I just did it to make it easier for me, you can use black paper and white crayon or some kind of liquid marker to make the numbers. And then a couple of sequence gems, one bigger than the other, if you can. You could also cut out circles of paper or maybe aluminum foil. Finally, we're going to use construction paper. So today I'm using yellow and black because I am going to make one of our F units here at the Colorado Railroad Museum. This locomotive was used on many famous trains, like the Ski Train and the California Zephyr. If you'd like to learn more about this locomotive, watch our Big Train Tour video. The link is in the description below. So let's get started. We're going to take our water bottle, and we're going to take our yellow construction paper. And we're going to just kind of wrap it around, maybe a little over, so you're going to see the end so we can measure it. And then we're just going to cut it to that measurement. Now we're going to wrap the water bottle with the construction paper. So now we're going to glue it. And I would put a lot of glue to make sure it's going to stay. Okay. There we go. We're just going to hold it for a little while, make sure it stays. It's been a little bit tricky. So now you got the first part of your train. Now with any of the scrap that you have, we're going to make the front part of the F unit. So you move this over. And I would go ahead and cut it all the way, even though it looks like it's going to be really big. That's okay. We're going to measure it. So it looks like we're going to need about this much because we're going to tuck it in there, but we're going to put a little bit of glue too. And that looks about right. Put your finger there, make sure you cut it there. And then we're going to put some glue. And just we're going to keep pushing it down till it's right in there. So there's the front of it. Okay. Now, when you look at our F unit, you're going to see that there has a little division there. It's like a little window. So we're going to take another small piece of paper and cut another little piece. And we're going to put that in. And again, we're going to glue it on both sides. If you want, you just kind of wait a little bit till it dries. Make sure it's going to stay. While that's drying, let's go ahead and cut out our numbers. So we're going to take our scratch paper and we're going to make them kind of small. So I would probably put like, if you have a grown-up finger, half of the grown-up finger, and we're going to cut across. And then probably the width of that. And then cut again, because you're going to need one on both sides. So while we're still having that dry a little longer, we're going to put the numbers 57, 71, and we're just going to scratch them in. Oops, it's a little hard because it's so little. 50, 7. Here we go. So you have your numbers. And let's see if the rest of it's dried up enough. Yep, feels like it. So hold on to your numbers there. And then we're going to put some lines across the bottom here. So you can make them straight, or you can make them with a little bit of a design. I know, but I've been looking at 57, 71 for a while. So there. When you're done doing the front and everything's dry, you can continue with the lines on each side and make it more detailed. Now the really fun part is putting the big light on, and that's going to go right up here. The F units have a Mars light. That's what this is. I'm going to squish it down a little bit, make sure it stays. And then we'll put the other one right here. And when you have time, you can just kind of hold that on there. Make sure it's glued nice and tight into place. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and put our numbers. And they're going to go on each side of the F unit. While that's drying, we're going to go ahead and make the snowplow for the front of it. Again, all these little scraps of paper are going to come in real handy. And then we're going to cut off the sides just a smidgen. And then we're going to curl the end. And we're going to put the glue on the top of this. And stick it under here. And I know it looks funny because it's flat right now, but we'll cover it up once it's really good and dry. Okay, so we're going to put this aside. So we're going to take some gray paper and just cut it about maybe an inch, if even, half an inch. And then we're going to cut that in half, so it's going to be on both sides. So we're going to fold it, and then it's going to be right there in half. So we're going to cut these pieces out ahead of time. And then maybe do another one for the bottom part of it as well. So you can use all these extra scraps for more detail on your train, decorative pieces. So right now, looking at the picture, I'm going to add some of the silver stripes that are on the locomotive. There's on one side. And on the other side. Again, when you have time and you're doing this tone, just let it dry. There you go. These really thin ones, so let's go ahead and trim the one side of the tip. Now we're going to add that. What's fun about doing these at home and when you've got all this time is that you can really put as much or as little as you want. It's just fun. I was having a lot of fun doing this. And again on this side. Make sure I put it on the same way, not the opposite way. We're getting close to the end, so there's one more step. Now it is a water bottle and it's kind of roundish, so it's going to keep rolling. So we're going to take a little bit of this paper, the black paper, and we're going to kind of look at what it looks like at the bottom and measure it to the bottom. And maybe a little bit more because it's going to go up the sides. It looks about right there. We're going to cut it. We're just going to kind of fold the sides up a little bit. So kind of keep it from rolling. And it also kind of looks a little more like the bottom of the locomotive. And again, probably put the glue ahead of time before you put it on there. Make it easier. It's probably the easiest part of the whole thing is sticking it on there. So at the very end, this all comes together. Everything is glued on, even the bottom. And then you can do your writing. You can put more stripes on it, and just keep making it as more detailed as you want. I hope you enjoyed doing our craft with us today. I know I did, and I learned a lot about our F unit. So I look forward to seeing you next month. Bye.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Be sure to visit our online gift shop for a wide variety of train-themed children's books.